The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the individuals participating in the show. All persons described or mentioned in the podcast should be considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This podcast contains subject matter such as violence and graphic descriptions along with adult language, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh, wait a minute. What'd you tell me to say again? You say it. No, go. No, don't stop it. You say it. No, go.
I said, what does the Tennessee quarterback, the pyramids of Giza, Hitler,
and my crazy neighbor all have in common? They will all be featured on this episode of Mysterious Brews.
Dun, dun, dun. Welcome to a deep, dark, dank, moist, like Betty Crocker extra moist basement, somewhere in the bowels of Georgia.
I definitely could have done that one better, but, you know, we agreed to be one take coach, so
yeah.
Gotta stick with it.
Gotta stick with it, man. Gotta stick with it. So Chuck, before you get started, Chuck Ball sent me a YouTube video last night, let me back up. He sent me a clip from the movie Cannonball Run, and I love that movie, man. I know it's like a cult classic and stuff. Some people hate it, but I love it. So I was giggling, and I sent back to him about something, and he said, "You know, they still actually do this, right?" And I was like, "Get out of town." He goes, "Yeah, they still make the Cannonball Run from New York to L.A."
Well, there's also a thing called the Gumball 3000, and it's in different locations every year. But yeah, it's like a 3,000-mile journey, and the first person to get there wins, and it's wild. Bam Margera did it. They made a couple episodes about it.
The video he sent me, the guy made it in between 5 and 6 hours, averaged 175 miles an hour.
There's no way you can make it from New York to LA in 5 hours at 175 miles an hour.
He set the record.
I'm doing the math. My damn dog's going to make noise, guys, so I'm sorry, but I can't stop him. But I'm going to mute it every time I get a chance. Hold on, I'm doing the math.
Are you mathing? Is your mathing? You got to do New York to L.A. on your Google Maps there.
Okay. So 175 miles an hour at 6 hours is 1,050 miles. Hold on. Now I got to Google the New York and LA.
It's 2,778 miles, 2,778 miles between LA and New York. And if we divide that by 175,
I just told you how far 175 miles an hour times 6 hours is 1,050. So that's only halfway.
I'm just telling you what the man said. He averaged that. So I don't know. Hell, he could be doing more. I don't know. Let me explain something to you.
Well,
anything over
at some point he was going slower.
Anything over 80 miles an hour, you can have it.
Phew, my man, look. Sometimes my sister goes to jiu-jitsu with me. If I leave, let's say anything that takes me 45 minutes will take her 30. She drives like a maniac.
Anyway, I'm just telling you. Well, hell, let's do this. Let's put it in the old Google machine.
It's 2,889 miles.
No shit, I just said that.
I just said it too. You ain't the only one that can talk.
Well, you need to pay attention what to do.
I did pay attention, but my Google updated.
Okay, so Chuck, all right. So I got a feeling Chuck left off the 2.
I love Chuck Ball, but dang.
Yeah, so because this one says the same thing, but there's a 2 in front of the 5. Yes, the record was 25 hours, 39 minutes. So that makes more sense. Somebody in 2004 did it in 28 hours in October in a Mercedes-Benz AMG CL55. What was the other one? A Volkswagen Passat, boys and girls. They have used the Volkswagen. They did a Cadillac ATS.
Dude, they had to be souped up. I mean, come on.
Another Mercedes AMG. A BMW 535D. An Audi S8. Now, I could see that. Another Audi A8. Another Audi. A BMW. (2016). So was it 2016 when he said it? No. There it is. All right. So yeah, we left off the 2, Chuck. 25 hours, 39 minutes. That is undamn believable.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, I think that was in an Audi too. All right, so.
I mean, could you imagine you're going 90 miles an hour in like rural Kansas because you can do that because who gives a shit on that interstate? And all of a sudden a freaking Volkswagen blows by you at 175 miles an hour.
Dude, that video,
like you're standing still.
Those YouTube videos he sent me, I would shit if they come flying by me.
All it would take is one person changing lanes that didn't look properly, and you both gonna meet your maker.
Yeah. They showed some of them getting pulled over, going to jail. And I was like, yeah, I bet they're going to put your ass under the jail.
Could you imagine let's say you're some Yankee from New York City that wanted to do this, and you get pulled over in like freaking bumfucked Iowa, going or Oklahoma or Arkansas,
doing 175 miles an hour.
Taking. Well, boys, looks like you ain't gonna make bail. And
I think I've told this story before. There was a guy that took a bet that he could go from Chattanooga to Atlanta inside an hour.
Good Lord, no way.
And when they got, all right, so they first got reports when he was in Calhoun. They didn't pull him over till he was damn near in Ackworth. He was in a 70s model Nova. It was an older guy, too. I want to say he was in late 50s, early 60s. They pulled him over, guns guns drawn, everything. Get out of the car, back up, get down on your knees, And so they finally got him. And they said, you old son of a bitch. The Georgia State Patrol got him and said, you old son of a bitch, where were you headed? And he said, I was just trying to get to Atlanta inside the city limits. And they were like, somebody died? And he said, no. He said, old boy bet me $500 I couldn't make it inside an hour. He told him I'd take that bet. And he goes, thing is, he goes, well, you could have killed somebody. He goes, on a Thursday at lunch. He said, where were you when you got the call? He goes, eating my lunch. He goes, see? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But people will bet on damn near anything.
On a great day, it's 2.5 hour drive.
Oh, I know.
How are you going to cut off an hour and a half? Like, come on. That's just ridiculous. People are crazy, man. Anyway. But before we change the subject, just to let you know, if you ever come to the state of Georgia for whatever reason, you're going to visit, you're going to Atlanta, you're going through Georgia, you're going to Florida, whatever, just know this.
Georgia State Patrol patrols the state of Georgia.
Georgia State Patrol don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about your life. They don't give a fuck about their life. They don't give a fuck about the lives of others. If you're going to run in the state of Georgia, they will pit maneuver you going 100 miles an hour and just hope for the best. They don't care.
I saw them pit maneuver a box truck, an ambulance, a stolen police car, 2 Dodge pickup trucks, a couple of Challengers and Chargers, maybe a BM. They pit maneuvered somebody downtown Atlanta in a BMW. I bet
that's exactly the one I was going to say. He was in downtown Atlanta, and it's a lot of traffic, and they were like, "Good luck, everybody else."
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so yeah, good luck. They're a different breed. They don't care. All right, so we do have a 5-star review. Great podcast. This son of a gun will not stop tippy tapping around this damn place. I'm gonna end up killing him. I love him, but he don't make a whole lot of noise until I turn this damn computer on. And then he's like, "Watch me tap dance, daddy." Anyway, great podcast from Heather R. 10. Hell, I can't see. 100315. Those zeros could be Q's. One of them, both of them, I don't know. But she said 5 stars. I love listening every week. I started listening a few months ago, and now I listen to 2 previous shows. Well, that's amazing. All right, so I got a few things to talk about before we get started. 2 things involve driving. I told you about the first one. This one happened today, but I think the other one's weirder. But I'll start with this one. Today, driving home, I pull up next to a girl, and this is the second time I've seen her. But I didn't tell you about it the first time. I might have, but not on air. This girl, not in the dead center where you look through your windshield, but maybe 4 inches to the right. She had at least a 10-inch TV screen watching the Kardashians. While driving, it's attached to her windshield. It is between where you look and her rear view. That's how close it was. A 10-inch TV screen watching while driving. Now, I'm sure we've all texted or did a Facebook reel or whatever while we were driving, and that's dangerous enough, but my gosh, 10-inch TV screen?
There's no words. After the week that I've had teaching the youths of
she can't be more older than 22. I'm so old now I can't tell the age of children, but she's probably 17, 18, 19, but I guarantee you she's no more than 22. And yeah, watching the 10-inch, I can't confirm that it was 10 inches, but Lord have mercy.
You multiplied by 5 and it was close.
No, well, let's just say while we were at that red light, I could tell you exactly what was going on.
You like rolled the window down. Hey, bitch, turn it up.
Yeah, should have. But yeah, okay. And then the second thing that happened driving this week is the strangest thing I've ever, well, not ever, but it's strange. I left my night job, right? It's still sun's up. It's like 8 o'clock, so the sun's still up.
But did you leave your job in the city?
Nope.
Damn.
Anyway, was that a Rolling on the River reference? It's a good job. Left a good job in the city.
Oh, there's a difference.
Yeah, anyway. So I walk out, and there are two, I want to call them military-style helicopters because they were not marked. They were like gray-ish, no markings on them. I don't know what you call the things they land on, but like the
skids. The skids.
Yeah, no skids on them. And they are going north, one directly behind the other, and neither one of them are making noise.
There's an airwolf. You done saw two airwolves.
But they were close enough where I should have heard them. So I get in my car, I pull out, I pull out and I go west. About a minute later, I see two identical helicopters, one behind the other, but they're way far out. I wouldn't be able to tell you if they had made noise or not because they were so far away, but they were going south. It's like, what the hell's going? There's absolutely no way rationally they were the same two that I saw previous. That's freaking strange. That don't happen around my part of the world.
I tried to tell you when you told me about it in a text that, there's choppers coming down Copperhead Road.
You did. And, well, you don't go down Copperhead Road if you know that song. He learned a few things from Charlie, don't you know?
Yeah, he did.
But, okay. So the longer story. I've talked about it before, but I'll catch everybody up. I have a very crazy neighbor.
Like certifiable, y'all. He's not making it up. She's certifiable.
Like I live in a townhome, so her door is like 15 feet from mine. She's that close to me. Well, a little background on her. She's had a big feud with the neighbor to the right of her. We're to the left of her. She has accused us. I live with my sister currently. I will be getting married and she'll be moving here. So that'll be good. But I live with my sister currently. She's accused my sister and I of destroying her air conditioning unit, digging up her yard and putting glue in it for whatever reason.
First of all, there ain't no yard.
Yeah. She's accused us of we are now breaking into her house and poisoning her tea.
Y'all gang stalking her.
Yeah. And she's accused us of putting fabric softener in her yard to kill her grass. She got, what was it, 1013? Is that what it's called? 72-hour hold? She got a 72-hour hold because she tried to attack the neighbor to the right of her with a pickaxe. Yeah. She has come to my house when my sister and I were not home with a baseball bat. We found that out from the neighbors across the way. The worst storm I've ever been a part of, worst lightning storm I ever been a part of, happened last year, and she was climbing an aluminum ladder trying to clean out her gutters. She accuses everyone of trying to flood her house, so she has sandbags all over her, in front of her yard and her backyard, like sandbags.
And when he says yard, it's like the neighborhood keeps up the green space.
Yeah, because my backyard is 15 by 15, maybe. Like, it would be absolutely pointless to have a mower because it would take me literally less than a minute to mow my yard. So part of the HOA, they take care of it. Anyway, so what she's gotten to do recently is she just stares us down. My sister leaves early in the morning, and she'll be out there in her nightgown. She's always in a nightgown, never in anything else, and just stare my sister down. Well, earlier this week, I get in my car, and I was trying to get my cell phone out of my pocket because I'm a fat man and it gets stuck. So I'm trying to get a cell phone in my pocket, and she's standing out there staring me down. And my windows are up, so I roll my window down, and I say, "Hey," I was like, "What'd you say?" And she said, "I can't hear you. I'm deaf." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, you have a nice day." She said, "You kiss my ass." I said, "Ma'am," what's wrong?" I said, "I've never done anything to you." And she said, "Well, you like to try to kill old women, don't you?" And I'm like, "What the hell?"
God, there's so many things that would get us canceled right now if I just have to bite my tongue.
I was just like, I was like, "Oh God." I was like, "I've never done anything to you. I have nothing against you. I'm not trying." I was like, "But bye." I roll my window up and I go. Well, that was like Tuesday. Same day I saw the helicopters. And so today, the trash came early. Trash usually runs on Friday. It ran on Thursday because of Good Friday tomorrow. So all of a sudden I get up and my trash can is in front of my door. Like not directly in front of it. I can still get in. I can still get out, you know. But my trash can is directly in front of my door. I'm like, what the hell? So I move it. And about an hour later, I see her walk up. My dog goes, "Oh, she's also told the HOA and the police that we have a vicious pit bull that's trying to kill her because we've trained him to." Okay, I have a boxer, and he's scared of a broom. But he does bark. He barks when there's strangers. When there's somebody, before they come in the house, he'll bark because he thinks he's Billy Badass. But you walk in the door, and he'll run to the bedroom and hide. Anyway, so I see her in front of my door, and I see her write something down. Looks like she's writing down our number, like our house number. So I'm tired of this shit. So I go out there, and I'm like, "Can I help you, ma'am?" She goes, "No." She said, "But I'm going to help you." I said, "Ma'am, this is getting ridiculous." I said, "We have nothing against you. We going to do nothing." I said, "We've done nothing to you, nor will we ever. So, and you continue to harass us. So the next time you come over," I said, "I'm calling the law and I'm going to see if I can get you on another 72-hour hold." Like, man, what am I supposed to do about this? I talked to a sheriff's deputy tonight, and he's like, "No, this ain't really enough to get a restraining order."
Yeah, it's right there on the edge, buddy. I mean, you could get her. I don't know if you could get her for trespassing if she comes on your porch, though.
I don't know. I'm just going anything. Next time it happens, I'm going to call the law. Just and I'll tell them what's been going on.
Yeah, just say I want to make I just want this to be documented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just go from there, man. If anybody out there has dealt with a crazy neighbor, please reach out and give me some advice on what to do. Because what really it is, I feel sorry for her. She needs help.
Yeah. And
her family's abandoned her, because I went so far as I've tracked down her grandson on Facebook. And I've talked to him, and he's like, "We don't talk to her."
Is she getting disability to pay for rent?
I don't know what she gets, but the HOA talked to their lawyer because she's hired a lawyer for some reason. And so they talked to their lawyer, and the lawyer's like, "You cannot kick her out. She owns that house outright." And she's only been here for 2 or 3 years because they forced her out of the last place she lived because she's pulled a gun on a neighbor and got arrested. And we know that for a fact because we've seen the.
And you know this for a fact? Yes, sir.
I seen that blotter picture. And the grandson, I said, "Does she own the gun still?" The grandson's like, "No, she don't own the gun. But like when she moved in and we helped her move, we searched the house and confiscated anything we thought could hurt. But the cops themselves confiscated the gun."
That's how conspiracy works. Them boys on the grassy knoll, they were dead within 3 hours. Buried in the damn desert, unmarked graves out past Terlingua.
And you know this for a fact?
Still got the shovel.
Still got the shovel.
Yeah. I mean, I bet she still got the gun.
Brother, I'm telling you right now, in this order, if she hurts my fiance, she hurts my dog, or she hurts my sister, I will beat her within an inch of her life. I mean, it's out of hand. I don't know what to do. I like my sister when she leaves, like literally, like checks to see if she's out there.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, she's just. If it's storming, she's been out in her yard. Her entire what little yard we have is barren soil because she's gone out there and again always in her nightgown. She waits till it rains so the ground is soft. And she'll be out there in the pouring rain, digging in her yard with her bare hands.
Shit,
dude, she needs help.
Yeah, but you can't. See, that's what's wrong, right? When they closed all the mental hospitals in this nation.
Well, yeah, the 72-hour hold, they let her out in 5 days because they don't have long-term facility.
Yeah.
It's like, what's people that really need help like her supposed to do?
Well, you hope people like her have a family that can get her long-term help. But as for like Milledgeville down here in Georgia.
Yeah.
And well, up here where I'm at, they had that place that's now abandoned, and hell, our homeless population, I dare say 70 to 80% of the people that's homeless up here came from that place. I don't know. It's just
she does have family. And from what the grandson told me, she's pretty much deserved to be abandoned by them. But at the same time, it's like, damn.
But see, there had to be a point where, and I talked to somebody before about this, there's a point where that relative that you grew up loving and knowing, that's not the relative you're looking at and talking to. And the way I kind of explained it was I made peace with losing my grandmother because it was my mom's mom. The lady that I remembered as a child and into my teen years, that's not the lady that was there in my 20s.
And I get it.
And I know I guess that's what I was trying to say was like maybe she did something to them, but at the same time, you kind of have to remove that. If she really does need that big of a help, you got to check your ego and get her some help.
I couldn't imagine I don't think there would be enough. I don't think my mom, before she passed, she didn't get like that at all. She passed suddenly, but I don't think there is possibly anything my mom could have done for me to completely abandon her. And the thing is, this lady still drives. About 10 minutes ago, she drove by.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she still drives.
She going to the Walmarts?
I don't know. But man, it's like, I didn't mean to go off this big a tangent, but I need advice. Honestly, I need help for somebody to talk to me. Tell me what you would do. And I know I'm going to get those. I'd beat her ass. Yeah, you don't think I want to?
The only thing I could think of is almost like a Ring doorbell kind of thing that you can record.
The thing is like, nobody would believe anything she says. Like the cops talked to her for 5 minutes and all of a sudden the ambulance pulled up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she got Ring doorbells on her front and back door, and she actually has genuine surveillance cameras.
Well, yeah, but I mean, she's paranoid.
Yeah.
If I was you, I would just do like a Ring doorbell on the front. That way you can talk to her and it's kind of recorded. But yeah, I don't know, bro.
So please, if you can reach out, please reach out. Let me know. Give me some advice. Our biggest fear is that because we've seen her in our backyard. Our biggest fear is she's going to throw some poison out, and my dog's going to eat it, and then my sister will kill her. Because that's our biggest fear. We watch like a hawk when we take the dog out, because he's dumb. I love that dog.
Yeah.
And he's smart in some ways, especially when it comes to food, if he knows you got it. But he's dumb enough to eat poison. I guarantee it.
So,
guarantee it.
Kind of shifting gears. All right, ladies and gents, we have the old current events for you. Basically, it's not so current events, because this has kind of died down a little bit.
Well, we didn't mean it to turn into Coach's saga, but like I said, I still need advice. So please reach out.
So if you don't have social media, or you've been living under a rock, scientists have discovered a large, and that's an understatement, underground structure under the pyramids of Giza using the old LiDAR and radar, ground penetrating LiDAR. Researchers Corrado Malanga from the University of Pisa and Filippo Biondi from the University of Good Luck.
I have absolutely no doubt you pronounce both of those
Strathclyde. Yeah, I'm killing it, dude.
Perfectly.
They used a synthetic aperture radar, or a SAR, to scan the area. It's all scientific and stuff. Their findings revealed a network of extending columns almost 2 kilometers down under the pyramids. The second largest of the Giza is I'm sure I'm going to fuck this one up, the Cafe Pyramid. It was found to have 5 identical structures near its base. These structures contained multiple levels and were connected by geometric pathways. Beneath those pathways, 8 vertical cylindrical wells were discovered. Each well was surrounded by descending spiral pathways reaching depths of up to 648 meters. At the deepest level, the pathways connected to 2 massive cube-shaped structures, each measuring 80 meters per side. Now, we can try to find some pictures of this, but like I said, it's unbelievable. Now, somebody has put all this stuff into AI, and it looks good, don't get me wrong, but it's fake as shit. They have these people in white Tyvek suits with masks and goggles on, and supposedly they're down there under the structures, and no, they're not.
Oh, how you know it's fake?
Well, because
how do you know, man?
There is that guy, what's his name? The mainstream Egyptologist. What is his fucking name? I just saw it. Zahawi. What the fuck is his name? Anyway, he's like the guy in Egypt when it comes to the pyramids, and nobody farts without that boy saying it's okay. There's no way he's going to let anybody in there. I can't believe he let them do ground penetrating radar. So now the theories on the pyramids are kind of shifting back to your conspiracy theory buddies and ancient aliens who said that it was a power plant. The Reese report released a video stating that the discoveries are basically turning the long-held beliefs that the pyramids were royal tombs on its ear. And researchers have previously speculated that the underground system may have served as a mechanical or energy-related function.
I don't know, man. Those pyramids are so strange. And people, I was going to say, I don't know how they built them, but I'm going to say a joke. I heard a guy say, he said, everybody wonders how they made those pyramids. Everybody wonders. He said, but there's also pyramids in Mexico. And ain't nobody ever questioned who built those. Which is true, but man, they look a little easier built than the pyramids in Giza.
Well, there's one of those down there in Central America that they think has like a small lake of mercury under it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now that was I'm going to say a couple years ago, which means it's probably 10 years ago. But going back to the Giza Plateau, they're saying that these theories align with theories proposed by Nikola Tesla and Christopher Dunn. Tesla, of course, remember, he was saying that he could get the wireless energy from just the atmosphere. And he suggested that the pyramids might harness Earth's natural energy. Christopher Dunn, in his book, The Giza Power Plant, proposed that the Great Pyramid functioned as a machine converting vibrations into usable energy. There's been debate left and right about who built it, how they built it, what the function was, all that good stuff. But from what I can gather, what they call a sarcophagus in the king's chamber in the main pyramid, they think that those two 80-meter cubes that they found underneath the other one is made of the same thing.
Yeah. 80-meter cubes. You're going to tell me people just moved those, carved them into perfect cubes?
Well, the way the scans look, it's almost like, and this is not official, it's almost like a grounding rod that you see people use. It's an interval. Honest to God, it looks like a big ass wire wrapped around a long tube. Just so happens that these are massive ass 690 meter long columns. Mainstream Egyptologists maintain that the pyramids were built around 2500 BCE. Newly discovered structures, along with mathematical anomalies in the pyramids, have led to discussions, in quotation marks, about their true purpose. The Khafre project team has shown interest in conducting excavations to further investigate these new underground structures. However, securing approval for such research remains uncertain. Egypt has historically restricted archaeological digs that challenge official accounts of the pyramids' origins and functions. We've already talked about that. My thing is, hell, we all knew that shit, we all knew it wasn't a damn burial site.
Yeah, I never believed that either.
So Reddit has a subreddit about Graham Hancock, and I bet his mind has exploded. But he has like a diagram. Let's see if I'll let you see it. And I can take a picture of it. See if you can see that.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So that's
crazy.
So that's what they're saying. And then underneath those columns with that looks like wire underneath it down there, they're saying that's where those 80-meter cubes are at. So I don't know, man. That's some freaky shit. Ground penetrating radar, some ERT stuff being talked about. Again, you're not going to know what really is going on, but if this stuff kind of interests you, I suggest Ancient Origins on Netflix. Graham Hancock's got 2 seasons of that. The first one's pretty interesting. The second one, he kind of does the younger Dryas with Randall. What's Randall? You sent me a thing last night. Randall.
Oh, that bearded guy?
Yeah, he looks like Santa Claus, but he's smart as shit. It makes my mind.
When you said that you had to pause it a bunch of times, I saw some more clips and I was like, damn, he's right. You got to pause this a bunch of times to try to absorb what he's saying because he's talking very intelligently.
Yeah, Randall Carlson. I could listen to him talk forever. I really could. But yeah,
We're not smart enough to understand everything.
I had to stop it. Like every 30 or 40 minutes, I had to stop it. And I was like, Jesus, my head hurts. And then go back, watch it. Sometimes you have to watch it again. But he's so easy to listen to now. He's been on Rogan, I think 3 or 4 times. I know Hancock's been on there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Talking about the younger Dryas. I think all of that stuff that they uncovered in that second season, it checks a lot of boxes now. Now, supposedly, and I don't know how I can get to this, after this discovery, structures under pyramid, let's see if it'll come up. There was another. I want to say they went somewhere else. Peru, maybe. Of course, somebody's trying to debunk it. Of course. There was another one.
There's always going to be the naysayers, man, and they will
say
in
nay.
fact say nay.
Yes, they will. Now this is going to drive me crazy. The only thing now coming up is in the Giza Plateau. So, but I'm sure y'all are sitting there in your cars or at home yelling into your radio, "No, you dumbass! It's this!" And so,
no one would ever do that to us.
You're right. We're everybody's favorite. Hey, so supposedly they found some shit off the coast of Japan or China, like a whole new city or sunken pyramids out there.
Well, I was going to shift gears completely on you and talk about what the Argentinian president released.
Oh, yeah. We all knew that was true, too.
Well, I mean, we believed it, but we had we still got really no proof, but he's just like, yeah, Hitler was here.
Had some kids.
He made it here. Had some kids. They're still around.
Yeah.
Like, what?
We're just going to, gloss over that?
I mean, it reminds me of another comedian. I watched it again last night on one of the TikToks or Instagram reels because I don't get on TikTok much. But he was like, "You don't believe in any conspiracy theories?
Not one?
Not one?" He's like, "You think the government's just batting 1,000?"
I know that. I love that part.
He goes, "The government is the parent of all its children." He goes, "I'm a father." If he's in charge of all their children, he's like, "I'm a father. I've got one child. And I lie to that all the time."
Yeah. Yep. I'm a teacher. I can now lie probably to the Pope straight faced.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
They also said that artificial sweeteners were safe and WMDs were in Iraq. And Anna Nicole married for love.
Well, she did, don't you know?
She claims it. A good-looking stripper marries a 90-year-old man because she loves him. 90-year-old billionaire. And you know what? So what? I'm not going to begrudge a billionaire that decides I'm 90 years old. I don't have a long time to live. I'm going to buy a stripper. I mean, the man was single. His wife had passed. I'm sure if she hadn't passed, he'd have stayed with her, with his wife. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Well,
But
what was
she
funny
passed.
What was funny was when he passed, his son took her to court, and I
Yeah.
think the son was in his early 60s.
No, like late 60s. He was older. He was in his 60s, at some point in his 60s. But yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's it. All right, so I found it. Teotihuacan. They found a secret tunnel under that one.
you heard about the P. Diddy tunnel.
Oh, dude, that goes back. we're gonna get canceled now. Yes, let's just dive. We're gonna dive eyeball deep into that one. So supposedly that's the same shit. Those are the same tunnels that they used to ferry people back and forth to the Playboy Mansion under.
Yeah, connect to the Playboy Mansion. Hell, we know we're gonna get on some list because I done talked about military helicopters, and now we're talking about P. Diddy. It's.
Hey, I can look outside and make sure that van's still there. I don't think they've left since I started, researching how much radiation it would take on a piece of ham to kill somebody.
This is all I know for sure. The people that they say are on these tapes, you ain't heard a damn word from any of them. They have disappeared from the media.
Yeah, and the other thing is, somebody told me that these tunnels, well, not me. I saw an interview with somebody. They were telling somebody else that these tunnels are kind of misnamed because when they say these tunnels are connecting P. Diddy's house to this and this and this, they were like, you're thinking like a passageway. No, we're talking about tunnels you can drive a car under. They said, think about how you never see celebrities on the 405, how they can get from the airport to their home or on one of those so quick and nobody ever sees them.
Oh, yeah, like that video of the guy that said he worked at a secret Starbucks.
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
He's like, I worked in the tunnels at a Starbucks and he's like, all we saw was celebrities and important people.
Yeah. That's
pretty wild. I don't know. Hell, I don't know what to believe in. There's so many. What's it called? COINTELPRO?
Yeah.
I think that a lot of this, they are flooding so much of this. Some of it's not. It can't all be true.
I saw a thing the other day that said the way you can tell that you're in a PSYOP is if there was three things. If you're ridiculed for making general questions about a subject, if you are tried, if it's nothing, if that's all that's prevalent on the mainstream media, and then all of a sudden after a given amount of time it just disappears and nobody else talks about it, you were part of a PSYOP. And so they started going through things and I'm like, damn, there's been a shit ton of them.
Can't everything be true and can't everything be false? You know what I'm saying? Some of it's true, some of it's false. And I really think they're flooding it because with social media, you can't hide anything true anymore. So they're putting out horse shit.
Well, here's the thing. Oh, Doty's dumbass is now on the Gaia network, GAIA, and he's out there saying how, oh yeah, the government, you got to watch the government. They'll lie to you. And I'm thinking, you're the biggest piece of shit out there. You made a guy kill himself. And now this motherfucker wants us to believe that he's on our side. I wouldn't believe him if he told me the sky was blue.
Well, you were right about that. That Gaia network, they got a lot of interesting stuff, but I ain't paid for it. I'm just not paying for it.
I know. I'm just cheap about it. We got to talking.
It ain't like I got every single solitary paid for app other than Apple TV.
Right. I'm seriously thinking about doing that one, and there's another one I found. I can't remember what the other one. It's not. I mean, it's about the same as everything else. But anyway, yeah, that Gaia network, it's pretty legit. The underground tunnel situation leads you back to the episode we did about the old boy that said he found tunnels under Los Angeles. And then they were like, oh, no, he didn't find anything. So, yeah. So far, we've talked about structures under the pyramids. There's a new tunnel in Teotihuacan. Hitler made it out. Anything else we need to talk about?
What about the dang people that went to space for 11 minutes?
Did you see them open the door and then that dumbass had to close it back?
Yeah, it's supposed to be pressurized. I don't know if it was supposed to be pressurized or not, but it's supposed to be pressurized so you can't open it from the outside. I mean, the inside had to be open from the outside.
I had to use a special tool, but that bitch opened.
He sure enough did, and that girl closed it real quick. But I don't even care about that. I hope it was fake. I mean, you got so much damn money. Like, people can't buy eggs anymore.
Well,
People
now they
pay
can.
rent anymore. But you're going to have so much damn money that you're going to pay millions of dollars to go to space for 11 minutes.
Well, my wife pointed out a good thing about it. They said that when they were marching to the little dildo-shaped rocket that they were about to get on.
It definitely looked like the rocket on Austin Powers.
Yes, it did.
100%.
She said everybody
was missing was balls.
Yes, she said that everybody was like grinning and waving except for Gail King, and she had like this serious face, like, "Oh shit, what have I done?"
And yeah, why is Gail King going up there? How? And freaking Oprah was there crying. That's the first time we've seen Oprah since the dang Diddy stuff, ain't we?
Well, that's the first time you've seen Oprah since everybody called her fat ass out with The Rock panhandling for money. You two motherfuckers got more money than God right now, and you're trying to get people to give money to help rebuild Hawaii. Fuck off.
Right. Like, man, it's like, are they asking us? Like, they're just begging us to have a freaking revolt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that would take way too much energy for 70% of this nation to do.
That's true.
We forgot one important thing. We needed to have a moment of silence because Val Kilmer passed away.
Oh, man, Iceman.
Yeah, Doc.
Yeah, better known to us as Doc Holliday. Yeah, I've seen that. Hell, Doc, I've got a lot of friends.
I don't.
I don't. Like, if you have never seen Tombstone, I almost said Friday for some damn reason. That's a good movie too. Go watch it. But if you've never seen the movie Tombstone, ask what you're doing with your life.
I also saw a good thing the other day that said that don't try to compare Tombstone to Wyatt Earp because they're two different pieces and they're two different stories.
I've never even seen Wyatt Earp.
Oh, it's good. It really is. But it tells the story of Wyatt Earp. I mean,
yeah, it's like his whole life.
Right. Yeah. And if you approach it like that, Dennis Quaid does a hell of a job as Doc Holliday.
I was like, I thought it was Kevin Costner, but he was
Wyatt. Yeah. It's a good movie. It's long as shit, but it's pretty good. I was trying to think if there's anything else that we've been kicking around. Did you see where Bigfoot went on trial?
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Tell me about it.
Eastern Washington University, I think is the name. Shit. What? The Brittany Barbary that's from the... Hell, I can't think of nothing now.
Ain't that how it goes, brother?
Yeah, I'm creeping up on stuff.
Ain't that how it goes?
Lost Monster Files is what she was on, and I started following her page from the podcast page, and she followed us back and shouted us out a couple of times. So yeah, fangirling over here, kind of hard. She said, "Where is it at?" There's so many. It was Eastern. I think it's Eastern Washington. Said that they are putting them. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Eastern Echo has an article where Eastern Michigan University has put Bigfoot on trial for 4 individual counts of public indecency, trespassing, resisting arrest, and destruction of property. It will be known as Bigfoot versus the state. And Autumn McGee, Bigfoot's defense counsel, says that this case is an example of gross governmental overreach. So basically, what they were trying to do, and it's kind of tongue in cheek to get you to click on the article, but what they're trying to do is kind of give you like a circumstantial evidence that he exists. And we could talk about this for another hour, but you can't kill him in Washington State.
Nope.
And there's another state.
You can in Oklahoma, though.
You can kill his ass in Oklahoma.
Shoot to kill in Oklahoma.
You can kill his ass in Louisiana. They'll try to figure out a way to eat him. Washington State and Oregon, I think, are the two that your ass will go to jail. So, Coach, do you want to talk about your great university?
Yeah, we'll talk about it real quick. But anytime somebody mentions Val Kilmer, 100% of the time, well, let's say 99% of the time, because I did it once, I would have definitely said Doc Holliday. But you subliminally, you know what I'm trying to say.
Subliminally.
Influenced my response because you got a damn Talk to Me Goose shirt on.
When I found this T-shirt, my wife just rolled her eyes, and I was like, I can't not buy it. What are you talking about?
So if you've been under a rock, or if you just don't follow sports at all, you won't know what we're talking about, but it's okay. Yeah. The University of Tennessee quarterback, Nico Imalakalaka, I couldn't possibly say his name.
Imalamalaya.
Imalamalaya. Come and want to lay you.
Come loudly.
Basically held up the University of Tennessee. He's 19 years old, making $2.4 million a year. Crazy lady just drove by towards the exit. Earlier, it was towards her house. But anyway, he wanted $4 million. $2.4 million at 19 years old wasn't enough. $4 million is more money than the Super Bowl winning quarterback made this year. And so now, looks like he's going to go to UCLA for $1.4 million. That's hilarious to me. Your dad just cost you $1 million.
Better yet, your dad may have cost you a very high draft pick.
Oh, yeah. Like I told you when you were supposed to be recording but weren't, when we had the 20-minute long conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Whatever round he was going to go in, I said he dropped at least one round, if not two.
Yeah.
So if he was a number one, if he was a first round draft pick, he may have found his ass being a third round draft pick. And that is millions of dollars.
Yes, it is. And the other thing is the NFL still, it's not guaranteed money. So
your signing bonus is, and guess who gets a bigger signing bonus? Everyone that gets drafted before you. Every single solitary one of them is going to get a bigger signing bonus than you.
Right. Yeah. And my thing with him is he was going to be much better this year, and his draft stock would have went way up unless he pulled a Carson Beck and fell in love. I don't know, man. I will say this. I assure
you, the University of Tennessee will have a better record than UCLA. And I saw a tweet that said it's hilarious that he wanted all that money. Now he lost $1 million, and he's going to go from playing in front of 90,000 fans to playing in front of 10,000 fans.
Yeah, and he's from California, and so I don't know, man. He's got to reinvent himself and get the hell away from. He's got to get his daddy out of the whole situation.
When you're that good of a quarterback, and the University of Tulane University
backs out of negotiations,
says, no, thank you. Tulane, you fucked up.
Yep. And the thing is, like everybody is saying, this was the line in the sand. Could you imagine if Tennessee had caved? How many kids would start holding out?
It would have been a
domino effect. Yeah,
it would have happened. It would have been the norm.
And the thing and I told Coach this off air. The thing that turned me against him was he tried to hold them hostage before the Ohio State playoff game. You signed an NIL contract to receive X amount of dollars. That contract's not up until the end of the season. You can't start negotiating for more money before a playoff game. You're going to sit out a playoff game? Playoffs?
I was about to do that. You beat me to it. But yeah, like Cam Newton made a good point. He's like, he has to get away from people that don't know the situation. He said, there's a lot of things my father can advise me on, but he's never been through what I've been through. There's some things he can't. And this was one big one for whatever his damn name is. I'm a Tennessee fan. I don't even know. But
yeah, I just, and the other thing is, I don't know, man. I mean, we can sit here and turn this into a sports podcast all day long, but
we ain't done a mystery today because they found the pyramids things. They found the Hitler. We're doing a solved Bruce today.
Holy shit.
Maybe this is our first solved Bruce.
The mystery is, there's a mystery. The mystery is who the hell built all that too. Yeah, that's another mystery. But the mystery is who built all that shit under the pyramids.
And the mystery, is how could that son of a bitch get that crazy to think he was worth $4 million?
Yeah. Who are you comparing yourself to? You were a freshman. You were a good freshman. You could have been a very good sophomore, but
dude, if you were like me and you watched every single solitary Tennessee game this year, I could not tell you how many times I was like, how do you overthrow that throw? Wide open receivers and you overthrow them by 5-6 yards. Like they could, so many overthrows they couldn't even dive for them. Yeah, that kid's got one hell of an arm. But you have to be able to be on target.
Yeah, and that comes with being around your receiver core, a lot. And you only had one season with them, and that receiver core was really supposed to be good, and y'all were supposed to bring some people back. You had a quarterback coming back. You had your offensive line was going to be good. What kills me is, and here's the thing, a lot of, college football fans are fucking rabid anyway, but looking at this as a college sports situation, I'm not a big Bobby Hill fan at all, but Josh Heupel earned a lot of respect in my book.
Bobby Hill. There's not many people that are going to get that listen. They don't know what he looks like, but oh my God, he looks just like him.
And I'm going to tell you something. There's no way that Josh Heupel was a Heisman Trophy winner. Ain't no way. That Josh Heupel ate the Heisman Trophy winner.
Oh, dude, he won a national championship at Oklahoma.
I know what he did. I'm just saying that one is not in there anymore.
No, hell, I'm not. Dude, I'm not what I was. Are you who you was?
I'm about 25 pounds heavier.
Shit. Yeah, so anytime I talk about college football, just know that you're talking about, I'm coming from the expertise of a 2-year starter in high school at defensive line. So I am definitely the expert.
Yeah.
When it comes to
hell yes. And not to mention the 5 years he coached it.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. I coached football for 5 years. I didn't coach for a single. The best season we had was with you, and we were like 4-6. The other 4 times I coached,
Offers?
No, 2-8, all 3 of them.
Huh. I've suffered through 2 offers.
What was funny is, of course, one school I was at, of course, parents are going to be very upset at a 2-8 season. So they, as a result of a 2-8 season, with 24 seniors on the squad, it was the first year that school had seniors. So, of course, when they started as sophomores, it was freshmen and sophomores only. So, of course, we had a lot of sophomores start playing football, and they played their entire year. We had 24 seniors on the squad, went 2-8, and the parents were so upset they fired every single solitary coach on the coaching staff because that was unacceptable. The very next year, they did not score one single point, not a field goal, not a safety, and certainly not a touchdown. 0-10, 0-4, 0 every game. That was hilarious.
Well, there was not as poetically just as that one, but there was a team my son played for in high school. They had a hometown guy come back, take the job. I think he was 4-6, 5-5, 5-5, 6-4. Missed the playoffs by one game. 5-5. They're mad because he just can't get them over the hump, and he talks to these kids like they talked to him in the 80s, and you can't do that anymore. So they fire, or they basically push him out. They hire this assistant from a bordering county. He's going to do this. He's going to do. Comes in 4-6.
Dude, and it's insane to me that you can lose your job as a high school level coach because you didn't recruit those kids. They grew up there.
Yeah, those are the cards you were dealt.
Yeah. You can't turn chicken shit into chicken salad.
Hey, you know that little white spot on chicken shit? It's still chicken shit.
It's still I'm just going to say, I graduated in the year 2000. My football
the
team.
99 and the 2000.
Like, my football team won region. The next year, that team was region runner-up, but they made the Elite Eight in football. That was 2001. Since then, that school has not had except one winning season because they went 6-5 because they were 6-4, went to the playoffs. They've had one winning season in that amount of time, and they fired the head coach this year.
See, it's ridiculous, man.
They've gone through like 8-9 coaches. And this kid was a hometown legend. His father was my head coach. His oldest brother is now the head coach at the University of Florida.
They fired him?
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about his little brother.
No. The one the current coach, they fired that guy whose brother is
Yes, they fired him.
They need their ass beat.
They fired him because he wasn't good enough. It's insane. Insane. The perks of having and that guy's he's a great guy. He's a great guy. But the perks of having him as your head coach means, guess what? Your entire team gets to go to the Florida, the Florida coaching camp.
Yeah.
Like
free of charge. Yeah.
For free.
For free.
That's enough to keep him. And they hired another coach from out of town, and he's going to be they're going to do just as bad as they did under this guy.
Yeah. And
it's so stupid.
It is. And the one that I was talking about, they hired that guy. He went 4-6, stayed 1 year. He's leaving to go to Tennessee, Alabama.
But coaching football, high school football, psycho. They're psychopaths. I just ain't got that kind of time in my life.
Oh, I wasted a lot of my life out there
Me and you
sweating
both.
to death.
A year we coached together, getting home 4:00 in the morning on a Friday because we got to watch the tape.
But we did get to hear about a Bigfoot story and buy one, get one free milkshakes at Steak and Shake.
That's true. We did. Wait a minute. Buy one, get one free at Steak and Shake?
Yeah. You never went?
No.
Yeah.
This is the first time hearing about it.
If you got behind the guy that saw Bigfoot, he would give you the free one.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we would race.
That's a good dude too.
Me and the bald headed guy that was the defensive coordinator. I'm not going to call him out by name, but we would race to see who.
I'm going to disagree with you.
So you're agreeing with me? No, I said I wasn't disagreeing.
No,
with
I'm
you.
not disagreeing. So you're agreeing?
No, that's not what I said.
And we got to hear about there's not a damn thing in this world
you can't do
that I want to do that you can't do in Lower Alabama.
It's funny that you should bring that up because we were in a teachers meeting today. All the co-teachers and special ed teachers were trying to figure out what we're going to do the last 5 days of school before they take the milestones. And we were talking about something, and I said, y'all ain't going to believe this, but I worked with a guy that told a kid that he wasn't born, that his mother wasn't really his mother. He fell out of hobo's ass when two rail cars slammed together. And I said, and they all started dying laughing. I said, I was on the bus ramp waiting for, the bell to ring. When he said that, I said, it took all I had not to spit hot coffee all over that kid.
Listen, My current fiance, soon to be wife, is from the great state of Alabama. And when we first started talking, she was mad because she assumed that when we used that voice,
We were making fun of him.
we
No,
were making fun of the entire state of
no,
Alabama.
ma'am. Nope.
I'm like, baby, you got to understand. That's that guy. We're not talking about anyone else from Alabama other than that person because that's how he really talks.
Yes. And if you don't believe me, we can take a field trip. He would love to see both of us.
If you've heard it before, that's fine. But I'll tell you some things about this man. Like, he used to come into my room and he'd be like, hey there, coach, what's happening? During my planning period, and then just rip a monster fart and go, well, all right, and go back to his room and to keep teaching. And it's the last day of post planning. I'm never going to work with this man again. And he said, let me tell you something, coach. He said, I got a stump in my backyard. And this summer, I'm going to take me a tar and a gallon of kerosene, and I'm going to set that sumbitch on fire. And there's not a thing you or the pussies in the EPA can do about it. And I'm like, what the hell? Where did that come from?
So the next year, I think, is when he told the science teacher's wife, she was like, you can't shoot. He was like, that damn owl got my cat. I'm going to shoot that son of a bitch next time I see it. And the science teacher's wife was like, you can't shoot an owl. You can't shoot an owl. And he tried to ignore her. You can't shoot an owl. Coach, you can't shoot an owl. And finally he had enough of it. And he turned around and goes, last time I checked, sweetheart, some of the bitches wasn't bulletproof.
That dude was a trip, man.
Oh. All right. Recommendations. There is a new TV show with Kevin Bacon. I don't know if you'd say it.
I've been meaning to watch that.
All right. So I'm going to tell you, it is over the top gore, but it's kind of like it's tongue in cheek gore, but there's a couple of you're like, dear God, really? It's called The Bondsman. They're 35 minutes long. Very good. It's funny as it can be. Jennifer Nettles, the singer, is in it, plays his wife. I'm not going to spoil anything else for you. You can watch it. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. It's got old Dewey Crow in it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
It's on my list, a growing list.
I finally finished Justified Primeval.
But that very last part's pretty good, though, ain't it? The whole series is okay if you just watch. If you'd never watched Justified in your life and you watch that, it's entertaining.
Yeah, it was good. It's no Boyd Crowder, but
yeah, exactly. But
he who talks out of both sides of his mouth deserves to have it shut. Who said that?
I've been accused of a lot of things, but inarticulate has never been one of them. I'm recommending podcast or YouTube or now they've got a special on Netflix. But if you like to laugh and you laugh at
inappropriate shit,
you know exactly what I'm going to say. Inappropriate shit, and you've not listened or watched Kill Tony, dude, do it.
Yes, it is hilarious.
That's my new go-to because I'm listening, catching up, and I just laugh. The premise is they have famous people on a panel. They pull names out of a bucket, and they come up and they they get 1 minute of stand-up comedy. And when they're good, it's either the comic is either really good or really bad, and both are so funny. It's when they're bad, God, I don't know why, but it's so funny. Well,
ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Off the cuff. Current events, whatever you want to call this one. But before we get out of here, remember, help Coach out. If you've got any advice, let him.
I didn't even we changed this episode on the fly because I talked so damn long about this lady. So please reach out. And I know, so I can already tell you, if you're already in the private chat, I'm sure you're going to reach out, and I appreciate it. But if you're not in the private chat, if it's the first time you've listened, look us up on Facebook or at Mysterious Brews on Instagram, at Mysterious Brews on Twitter,
Facebook, TikTok, everything.
TikTok, mysteriousbrews@gmail.com. Just reach out.
All right. You got anything else?
You know I don't.
Deuces.